Do you struggle to stay consistent with decluttering? You're overwhelmed with clutter, but every time you get motivated to start, your plans end up getting derailed. As a professional organizer, I see this with clients all the time. By the time we are on the scene, clients have hit their limits, mentally, emotionally, physically, or all three. Today, I'm going to share the 5 most common mistakes that people make when decluttering that leads to them eventually giving up. And I'm going to share what we should be doing instead. Because just as important as it is to do the right things, we want to make sure we are not doing the wrong things. And at the end of the video, I am going to share a bonus mistake because it was just too good not to mention. I often compare decluttering to training for a marathon. At the start, we are full of energy and optimism. We've got our running shoes on, we've got our music, the weather is beautiful, and we are gonna go out and run 10 kilometers. Even though we haven't run for 10 years. But then we hit a hill, or our music dies, or we get a cramp, and we've only gone 5 kilometers and we realize we cannot take another step. This is why decluttering mistake number 1 is tackling too much too soon. Oftentimes we will watch a decluttering video or we smell the spring air and we get in the mood for spring cleaning and we get these lofty goals in our mind. Like we are gonna wake up tomorrow morning and we are gonna tackle our entire basement and we're not gonna stop until it is completely done. And then reality hits because around 11 a.m. everyone is hungry, you realize you've run out of garbage bags and you don't have the capacity to make another single decision. And then all of a sudden, just like hitting 5 kilometers felt like a failure, all of a sudden decluttering for 2 hours feels like a failure, even though both running for 5 kilometers and decluttering for 2 hours are amazing accomplishments. When we work on client projects, we only ever work on site for 5 hours at a time. And when I first tell new clients this at the beginning, I can tell they're thinking, oh, okay, like that's a pretty short day, or must be nice, Marianne. But then 99.9% of the time at the end of the first day, they are like, oh my gosh, I'm exhausted. Get out of my house. I need a nap. I need a break. After 7 years of decluttering, I have learned what does work. Here is what we should be doing instead. Number 1, setting realistic goals and ideally tracking them. Number 2, starting small. Remember, practice makes perfect. We will get there. We will get bigger goals. And number 3, focus on consistency over intensity. I know this all sounds boring and slow and not flashy, but it works. Very often, we are so overwhelmed with our clutter that we have no idea where to even start. So we end up quitting and giving up before we have even started. We will often wander around and we look at the clutter and we think about it a lot. And sometimes we'll pick items up and we'll put them back, but we never actually get to the point of decluttering anything. A lot of this comes from this feeling like we need to start like the biggest, scariest categories, like those boxes in the basement that are so emotionally triggering. They prevent us from decluttering anything at all. But I'm giving you permission today to start small, start easy, ignore the hard stuff till the very end. Did I donate my dad's entire wardrobe the day that he died? Of course not. You might remember the stroller that I have mentioned in recent videos that I really have no business owning, but I just can't bring myself to let go of it yet. I honestly have no immediate plans of getting rid of it, but I don't let that one thing prevent me from decluttering and getting rid of all the things that are less important to me, that really don't matter. So instead of letting this stop us from even starting, we are going to create a plan. The plan can be super easy. It can literally just be a checklist. And number 2, we're going to start with low physical, low mental. This is a saying that my father-in-law says all the time, and I now use it for decluttering. Some days we have to tackle the highly physically, highly mentally demanding tasks. But to start, we are gonna start with the easy stuff, the low mental, the low physical. Mistake number 3 is that we strive for perfection. Just like we think we have to tackle too much too soon, we also think that we have to tackle our clutter in this perfectly linear, by the book way, which means this will inevitably lead to disappointment because there is a 99.9% chance that this is never going to happen. Life gets in the way. Let's think back to our marathon trainer for a second. Anyone who's ever run a marathon can probably give you 10 examples right off the bat of times where they struggled or they went off course or they got an injury or they almost quit. So instead of expecting perfection, our key focus is going to be just on effort. That's it. For the next year, we are just gonna put in effort. We're gonna try things over and over again. And probably some of them, maybe a lot of them are gonna fail. But out of that, we are gonna have progress and we're gonna figure out ways that do work for us. Mistake number 4 is that we try to do it alone. Do marathoners ask for help? Yes, heck yes, of course they do. They hire trainers and they find accountability partners and they watch YouTube videos all about marathon training tips. Pretty much everything in my life that I have ever exceeded at in or overcome or improved at has been because I have asked for help. And if you really reflect on your own life and your own self, there's probably a good chance that you would say the same thing. When I first started working with clients, I worked alone. And there would be many moments in the middle of a project where I would feel completely lost and just overwhelmed. But as soon as I got a team with me that I could count on, I was able to lean on their knowledge and their instincts. And the service we provided our clients got so much stronger. And I felt happier and more relaxed and it was more fun. For some reason, decluttering has become this chore that we think everyone in the world should be able to naturally do on their own. And if we're not able to do it, it becomes this point of shame. Certain chores like shoveling our driveway or mowing our lawn are socially acceptable to outsource. But needing help to manage clutter is this sort of like taboo thing that we should be born knowing how to deal with. And I'm gonna tell you, as a professional organizer, this is not the case. And hiring a professional organizer is not the only way to have help. Sometimes it is literally just venting to a friend. Sharing your stressors with somebody else can just lighten that load. Sometimes it's watching videos just like this, looking for tips. If it's the emotional side that you struggle with, then maybe it's hiring a counselor. Maybe it's just asking a friend to come over and help you. Mistake number 5 is that we try to ignore our emotions completely. Decluttering is so much like a breakup. This person who was once a really big part of your life, when you start to break up, you just all of a sudden think of all the amazing times you had and these memories you had together. So even though this relationship is no longer serving you at all, and in fact could be detrimental to your life, it just all of a sudden feels wrong and painful. The same thing happens when we are dealing with our stuff. And in my experience, ignoring this or pretending you aren't having these feelings really just doesn't work. Instead, I suggest crying or yelling, whatever's coming out at that moment. I also highly suggest taking breaks when you need them. And number 3, a lot of my clients find that journaling really helps. I'm gonna actually include a few journaling prompts on the screen right now. So if that's something you're interested in that you think might help, feel free to take a screenshot of that and work on that before or after a decluttering session. The bonus mistake that I really wanted to share with you guys is when we work on and focus energy on organizing a space when we haven't finished the decluttering process. When we know we should be decluttering, but we're actually thinking about new hangers and a new shelving unit and this cool system that this cool girl on TikTok did the other day. I have an entire video coming up very soon about this very topic. But for now, just remind yourself, if you find yourself thinking about baskets and bins and where everything should go, but you're still really surrounded in clutter, just bring yourself back in and okay, just reset. Let's focus right now on getting the clutter out. Let me know in the comments below, which one of these mistakes do you struggle with the most? And if you're struggling with getting started, make sure you check out my recent video that is all about which supplies actually help with decluttering.